Hi everyone, we are live. I hope I'm audible. Just a minute. Great. Hi Abhishek. Hi Siddiqui. Kartike. Santujit, Abhishek, Arslan, Mohammad Roshan, Ankit. Hi everyone. Good evening to all. Yes, audible. Great. Yep. So we'll start the class soon. Let me also start presenting my screen. Okay. ऑलराइट सो सब लोग एक्साइटेड हैं स्टार्ट करने के लिए. भैया आज कौन सा टॉपिक भैया? ओनली जावा प्लस डीएसए से जॉब. यार तुम्हें ये श्योरिटी पहले चाहिए तुम्हें, है ना? पढ़ने से पहले श्योरिटी चाहिए कि भाई ये पढ़ने से जॉब लग जाएगी. सिर्फ जावा सिर्फ डीएसए सिर्फ जावा ही बोल देते. सिर्फ जावा पढ़ने से जॉब लग जाएगी. चलो ग्रेट. लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैव ज्वाइंड ऑलरेडी, सो वी आर गुड टू स्टार्ट. ठीक है. अच्छा, बिफोर वी स्टार्ट, so we are launching the live DSA batch, live DSA bootcamp, and it is from 4th of next month. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट मंथ की 4 तारीख से बैच स्टार्ट हो रहा है. लिंक आपको मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन में दी हुई है. यू कैन गो एंड चेक इट आउट. नीचे मेरा एक डिस्काउंट कूपन भी है विच यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर एक्स्ट्रा डिस्काउंट. सो इट इज़ गोइंग टू बी अ 3 months बैच. 3 महीने का बैच होगा. इट विल बी लाइव प्लस रिकॉर्डेड. So you will have live classes with me, you will have recorded session with Abdul Bari sir, and you will have mentor session. In case you get stuck anywhere, you will have one-on-one doubt support. Okay, we are not going to increase the size of the batch taki so that I'm able to interact with each and everyone, those who are there in the batch. And yeah, definitely go and check it out. Look at the syllabus, look at the curriculum. 3 months का batch है. We will be covering all the important topics, and from the 4th month we'll start interviews. Okay, the 4th month onwards you will be sitting in interviews, that also in good companies. Okay, chalo. या यू किसी भी ईयर में हो यू कैन गेट दी कोर्स. नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में एक लिंक मैंने दिया हुआ है ऑलरेडी, तो वहाँ पर चले जाना. एंड इफ़ यू आर गेटिंग इट देन यू कैन यूज़ द डिस्काउंट कोड विच आई हैव. सो वहाँ पर you will have a slot there to put the discount code. You can use the code. I think the code is also there in the description. Yes, DSF Faraz. Great, great. So, all excited? Hi, Romeo. Yeah, even experienced folks are there in the batch, like the batch which is already running, experienced folks are also there. So yes, you can join even if you are experienced. The best part of the course is that it's going to be live, so it's going to be interactive. So the basic stuff, जो बहुत ही basic सी चीज़ें होती हैं, those basic stuffs are covered in the recorded lectures. Let's say what are arrays and all. The basic stuff is covered in the recorded lectures. But in the live classes, we solve some really good advanced problems. And then you have, in a week, you have three live classes, two mentors classes, and you can get one-on-one TA support anytime you want, right? What is the last date of enrollment? It must be mentioned there. वहाँ पर mention होगी. Last date of enrollment must be mentioned there. But the thing is, there is a discount which is currently going on for in general, not only for my students. In general, there's a discount which is currently going on next leap. You can go and check out what is the last date for the discount. But over and above that discount, you can get some extra discount using the code. Got it? All right. So let's present the screen. Yep. अरे ये हमारी पिक्चर कहाँ चली गई यार? इसने बिल्कुल ही गायब कर दिया और उसने उल्टी भी कर दी है पिक्चर. इसको कैसे सीधा करें यार? रोटेट कैसे होगी ये? एक सेकंड बस यार, थोड़ा सा कुछ गड़बड़ हो गई है यहाँ पर. ऑर्डर मूव सेट कहाँ से होती है ये? मेस्ड अप. आई थिंक इसको ना ऐसे कर देंगे. हाँ ठीक है. यस. ठीक है, चलो ग्रेट. सो shall we start? Okay, let us start from a very basic problem. दिखने में लग रहा होगा that it's a hard problem, but it's not hard. Let us start with a very basic problem called rainwater trapping. Okay, it's a very famous problem, and I guess many of you would already know about it. So let's see what the problem is. Just don't read this thing. Okay, forget about it. The problem is very easy, and we are going to break it down into easier parts to solve it. All right, so read the problem statement carefully. It is right in front of you. Read the problem statement carefully. Digest what the problem is, what the statement is asking you to do. Okay, so the problem statement is very straightforward here. Given n non-negative integers representing an elevation map where the width of each bar is 1, compute how much water it can trap after raining. So basically, you can consider them as containers, maybe containers. You can consider them as walls. Okay. Now, when there is rain, some amount of water will be collected here because there is a gap here. Some amount of water will be collected over here as well and over here as well. Okay. We need to return. Yeah, we need to return the total amount of water which will be collected after the rain. Sorry. So this is the question. Okay. I hope the problem statement is clear to you. Let me also give you a few examples here. So let us say this is the wall. Okay. Then this is the second wall. Let's say this is the second wall. And then there's another wall right adjacent to this one. So you know, right, when it's going to rain, some water will be collected over here. Got it? Let us consider another scenario. Let's say there's a wall over here, and there is another wall over here. What amount of water will be collected here after the rain? Tell me, what amount of water will be collected here? And this is separate, this is separate. Okay, it's a separate thing, it's a separate question, and this is separate. I'm asking about this. How much amount of water will be collected here? Tell me. Bipin is saying no collection of water. Zero. Are you sure? Zero. Yes, see, when it's going to rain, water will come here, but it will flow out of this because there is no, actually we need something here as well, right? We need something here to capture the water. Okay, great. No amount of water will be collected. So now you know that how to actually look and tell that how much water will be collected. If you know, if you are given the diagram, so in this diagram you can clearly see that 1 unit of water is collected here, 1 unit is collected over here, 2 units collected over here, 1 unit collected over here, and how much? 1 unit collected over here. So the total is 6. In the answer for this question is 6. Okay, great. Now tell me any approach that you can think of, be it brute force, be it anything. Now, if you know programming, if you know, if you have a little experience in coding, you should at least come up with a very brute force approach. Okay. First of all, think that how can you solve this question if there are two walls only? How can you solve this question if there are three walls, and so on, right? Try to think from scratch, and then we will try to optimize it. Okay, so for sure you will be able to get at least one approach, but please use your own imagination. This way you will even feel confident when you will optimize the approach, right? You will feel confident. Meanwhile you are looking at this question, let me bring water for me. The question is in front of you, the example is in front of you. Just see, just try to come up with one approach with which you can find solution. Okay, forget about the optimization, forget about everything, just come up with single solution to solve this. Okay, so let us see. Okay, let us see with a very basic example now. Let's say there is a wall over here. Okay, and there is another wall over here, and there is another wall over here. This is one gap, this is the second gap, this is the third gap, this is the fourth, this is the fifth, this is the sixth. So basically 0 1 2 3 4 5. There are total 5 elements. There are total 5 elements. There are total 5 walls, and wall number 1 is of height 5, wall number 2 is of height 0, wall number 3 is of height, let us say 2, wall number 3 0, wall number 4 0, wall number 5 again height is 5. This is the scenario in front of you. Now tell me how much amount of, see, if I'm able to calculate the total amount of water on each and every wall, okay, so how much water will be collected above each and every wall, I will be able to get my answer. Okay, let us start with the first wall. This is the first wall. Okay, tell me, tell me how much amount of water will be collected above the wall 0. How much amount of water will be collected on the top of wall 0? 6. Nikita is saying 6. Srinidhi is also saying 6. And rest of you are saying 0. 0. And I can understand why you are saying 0. Because let's say if it's raining like this, there is no one to support from the left side. Okay, there is no wall to support water here, so the water will overflow from here. So 0 water will be collected. Okay, 0 water will be collected on the top of this particular wall. Great. Now let's talk about the wall number 2. How much water will be collected on the top of wall number 2? Wall number 2 means index 1. So how much water will be collected at the index 1? But it must be less than distant element. Okay, we'll see, we'll see. Don't worry. Let's go one by one. 5. All are saying 5. Okay. Why you are saying 5 is because when it's raining, water will get support from the left side, from this wall, and water will get support from this wall as well. Okay, so in total this much amount of water will be filled. Got it? Why? Because it's getting a support from left side and from the right side. Understood? These two are the supports. What about this? What about the wall number 3? How much water will be collected on the top of wall number 3? That means index 2. How much water will be collected there? Again, this also is going to get support from the left side and support from the right side. So water level will go till 5, but the amount of water on the top of it is only 3. Correct? It's only 3. Let us go to the next wall. Again, on the top of next wall, it's going to be 5. From the left side, this is giving the support. From the right side, this is giving the support. For this wall, again, it's going to be 5. All right. Let me increase it a bit. Okay. On the top of this wall, how much water will be collected? The height of this is 6. How much water will be collected on the top of the wall number 7 or the index 6? How much water will be collected here? And the height of this is again 2. Okay, height of this is again 2. Again, 3 units of water will be collected here. Okay, left support is from this, or you can say from this, whatever. Left support is from this, right support is from this. Got it? So for every particular index, what you have to find is who is supporting from left and who is supporting from right. That's what you need to find. Who is supporting from left and who is supporting from right. Okay, let us say, now focus here. Okay, focus. Let us say you have, let's say you have x, a wall of height x on the left, or let us say L, height is L on the left, and let us say there is a support, there's a support from a wall on the right side with the height R. How much amount of water can you collect on the top of this particular index? Okay, so a particular index is getting a support from the left side from a wall of height L, and from the right side from a wall of height R. Okay, so how much water will be collected on the top of it? Height of left support is L, height of right support is R. R minus L. R minus R, are you sure about it? Just think of it again. Vishwas. Vishwas Khattar, just think of it again. You can answer it. It's a very simple question. You all can answer this. There is a wall. There is a right support with the height R. There is a left support with the height L. How much amount of water will be collected on the top of it? How much amount of water will be collected? I want answers from everyone. So please quickly write in the chat. It is going to be the minimum of L comma R. Minimum of L comma R, but there is some height which is already occupied this wall as well. Okay, so it will be minimum of L comma R minus the height of this particular wall. Got it? This much amount of water will be collected on the top. Minimum of L comma R minus height. Okay, so for those who gave the correct answer, big shout out. I guess Bipin, you gave the right answer. Romeo also gave the right answer. Great, good job. Minimum of L comma R. Yes. But how will you find this L and how will you find this R? So for every particular index, for every particular wall, you need to find what is your L, what is your R. First of all, tell me what is your L? What is the meaning of L? This is a support which you are getting from the left side, but which support? Okay, for example, let me quickly demonstrate here. Let us say there is a wall. Let us say there is another wall here and another wall here. Okay, and another wall over here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Okay, now tell me who is your L and who is your R? Who is your L? For this particular wall I'm asking, who's L for this wall? Tell me the wall number. अरे 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 ये क्या चल गया? Wait, want to open our video to look at the chat here. Perfect. Yes. So few people are saying ki it is 2, few are saying it is 1. See, just think of it. Just think of it. How much amount of water will be stored on the top of this? Okay, that will be determined by this and this. Got it? This much amount of water will be collected on the top of the wall 3. It has no role. Okay. So if I want to find out who is L for 3, I need to look for the tallest wall on the left side of 3. If there was some other tall wall taller than this one on the left of 3, then this would have been L. Okay. So L, what is L? The highest wall on the left side of 3. What is R? Similarly, R is the highest. So if there was another wall, let's say wall number 5, with a greater height, so how much water would have been collected? This much water would have been collected, this much. So this this would have been your L. Got it? So how you find your L and R? Basically, you find the maximum out of all the walls present on the left side, that is L. Maximum out of all the walls present on the right side, that is R. Okay. For every particular index, you are going to find L and R. And then simply apply this formula, that water collected on this particular wall is equal to minimum of L comma R minus H, where you have already found L and N and R, and height, this H is the height of the current wall. So tell me, is this approach clear to all, or do you have any doubts? You want to discuss something? Quickly let me know. Is it clear, unclear? You have any doubts? Please do ask questions, okay? Simply don't sit, do ask questions if you have doubts, and do let me know if it is clear. Great. Nice. Can anyone tell me what is going to be the time complexity and space complexity for this solution? Tell me the time complexity. What is the time complexity of the solution? While L and R change for different walls, will L and R change for different? Of course it will, Zenith. Of course. For this particular wall, L is this, R is this. For this particular wall, L is this, L is this, but there is no R, R is 0. For this wall, L is this, R is this. For this particular wall, L is this, R is this. But for this wall, R is this, but there is no L, L is 0. So basically it will change for every wall. Abhishek is saying log n. भाई तुक्का ही मार रहा है तो इतना गंदा क्यों मारा? कोई ढंग का ही तुक्का मार लेता. Not getting minimum of L and R, why? Just think of it, Preeti. Think of it. Min means minimum, or L and R, or difference between two. Min means minimum. Let me see if anyone can give me correct answer or not. It is correct, Nikita. It is correct. Big O of n square. N square is the time complexity. Why n square? Because I am calculating the water on the top of every wall, right? I want to calculate the amount of water on the top of every wall. Okay, but for that I want to find what is L and what is R for every wall. Now finding that L and R is going to be big O of N. And how many times are we finding this L and R? We are finding it for every wall, correct? So we are applying this big O of N algorithm n number of times, so the time complexity becomes n square. Got it? Time complexity is going to be n square. Like for every wall, we are calculating what is L and what is R. So it is big O of n, finding that L and R is big O of n. Again, for this wall, you are finding L and R, that is big O of n. For this wall, again, you are finding L and R, it is again big O of n. So big O of n plus big O of n plus big O of n number of times. So n plus n plus n, so on, n number of times is going to be n square. Understood? Great. So now the question is, can we do something better than this? Okay, let's think of another approach which is better than this. And meanwhile, others, please have a look here. Read the problem statement. If you are new to the chat, if you're new to the live stream, you can read the problem statement, look at the example. This is the problem that we are solving. We just discussed a brute force approach to solve this. Now we will optimize our approach. Okay, it is a very simple, very naive approach. We will see what optimizations we can do. रोहित, प्री प्रोसेसिंग करके, ओके, आई वुड लाइक टू हियर फ्रॉम यू कि व्हाट इज प्री प्रोसेसिंग भैया. प्रॉब्लम नंबर 42. प्रॉब्लम नंबर इज 42. ओके, प्री प्रोसेसिंग क्या करेंगे आप प्री प्रोसेसिंग में एंड कैसे करेंगे ये बताइए. Also by max area under histogram. Max area under histogram, okay, nice, we can do that as well. But the thing is कि यार देखो, I guess when I was giving an interview for CureFit, somebody asked me a similar question. I started approaching it using that area under histogram thing, and he got to know that, have you solved this problem before? I said yes. He said, okay, let me change the problem. तो ये जो ऐसी अप्रोचेस होती है ना कि भाई तुम जो सोच अपने आप से नहीं सोच सकते हो, तुमने जो पक्का रटी हुई है, और तुम वो अप्रोच अप्लाई कर रहे हो प्रॉब्लम में. इफ़ यू आर अप्लाइंग वन अप्रोच एंड विच इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू कम अप विथ, राइट, it's obvious that you have memorized the question. They will change the question. और कोई, anyone with any other approach? And Rohit, you did not tell me what do you mean by pre-processing? What do you want to pre-process? चैट में लिखो यार सभी लोग. All right. So what do we want to do? So for every wall, you want to know what is the maximum on the left and what is the maximum on the right. That's what you want to find. Okay, maximum on the left will give you L and maximum on the right will give you R. So for every wall you want to find out what is the maximum on the left side and what is the maximum on the right side. Correct? Now for that what we can do is, let me take this example only. Here we have 0 1 0 2 1 0 1 3 2 1 2 1. 2 1 2 1. Okay, so these are the walls. Now what I will do is I will run a for loop. I will create another array. This array is going to contain the L for every element. It's going to contain the L for every element. What is L? L is the maximum on the right. Okay, so I will run a loop. Okay, I will keep a variable max L. Max L is the maximum on the left. Okay, max L is the maximum on the left. What is the maximum on the left for 0? What is the maximum on the left for the 0? It's going to be 0, of course. There is no element. So initially this is 0. This is going to be 0. Maximum on the left for 0 is 0. Correct? But because we are proceeding ahead, we are going to update this max L. So we are going to go to 1 and we have updated this max L, but because the last number was 0 only, so it is still going to remain 0. Okay, we go to 1. What is the maximum on the left for 1? Maximum on the left for 1 is again 0. Now we are going to this 0, but when we are going to this 0, we are going to update our max L to 1 because now 1 is on the left side. You getting me? Then what next? After this, so for answer for this is 1. After this I go to 2. When I'm going to 2, I know this 0 is going to be included in the left side. I will try to update this max L with 0, but it will not be updated because it is already greater than 0. So for 2 also the answer is 1. When I go to this 1, this 2 is also included in the left side and now this max L will be updated. It will become 2. Okay. So L for 1 is 2. Then I go further. Okay, when I'm going further to the 0, this 1 is also included in the left side. Got it? But this max L will not be updated because this 0 is smaller than 2. Then it will be included in the okay, we want to calculate the answer for 1, who's the max. Okay, for 0 the answer is 2, right? For 0 the answer is 2. For 1 the answer would be still 2. It's not changing. Then we include 1 in the left part. Still this doesn't change. Okay, so answer for this 3 is also 2. When we move on to the next 2, this 3 is in the left part. When it is in the left part, it will be updated. And the answer for this is 3. Answer for this is also 3. For this also 3. For this also 3. Now you got to know how you can calculate, how you can find this array. This array contains L for all the elements. Okay, what is L? Maximum on the left for all the elements. Tell me, are you able to understand this? So once you generate this array, if you are able to generate this array, it's going to be very simple. Why? Because let's say if you're finding that how much water is collected on the top of this wall, you already know what is your L. Okay, you already know what is your L. Similarly, you can create another array, create another similar array, run the loop from right to left, and simply keep computing R. Okay, keep computing R for every index. Got it? So this way you will have L, this way you will have R. Now for any index, let us say for this particular index I'm talking about, you know what is L. L is stored here. You know what is R. R will be stored here. So you will not have to find it again and again. Okay? You will not have to find it again and again. This is the thing. Let me know if it is clear. Please, everyone, write in the chat if it is clear. If not, then do let me know. Clear? Great. Okay. What will be the complexity now? What will be the time complexity now? Tell me in the chat what will be the time complexity. क्लियर है तो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बता दो एक बार. Masuda is asking once again explain. मासूदा देखो, एक बहुत ही सिंपल सी चीज़ मैं आपको बताता हूँ. अगर मैं आपको हर एक क्वेश्चन दो बार एक्सप्लेन करके बताऊँगा ना, तो आपको रिक्वायरमेंट पड़ेगी थर्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन की. अगर मैं आपको एक क्वेश्चन तीन बार एक्सप्लेन करके बताऊँगा, तो आपको रिक्वायरमेंट पड़ेगी चार एक्सप्लेनेशंस की. ओके, सो द थिंग इज़ you have to be attentive when I'm explaining, and you have to figure out where are you stuck. कि आप स्टक कहाँ पर हो, आपको वो फिगर आउट करना है. अगर आप मेरे से दोबारा बोल दोगे कि पूरा एक्सप्लेन करके पूरा पढ़ा दो, तो आप मेरे से इंटरव्यू में भी आके यही बोलोगे, भैया मेरा इंटरव्यू आके दे दो. ओके, देयर इज़ एन एक्टिव इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ योर ओन माइंड when you are solving, when you are watching lecture. So please keep your mind open while watching the lectures, while attending the classes. Keep writing stuff, keep understanding things, keep coding if you can code parallelly. Got it? But you will consume this like कि भाई आराम से लेट गए फ़ोन में, लेट के मस्त देख रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं. तो बीच बीच में योर माइंड विल फ्लो, इट विल फ्लोट. ओके, माइंड फ्लोट होता है बीच में किसी का, कि भाई सोचते सोचते पता नहीं क्या ही सोचने लग गए. यू आर वॉचिंग द लेक्चर, यू आर सॉल्विंग अ क्वेश्चन, एंड देन योर माइंड इज फ्लोटिंग अराउंड इन डिफरेंट थॉट्स. एवर हैपन्स विथ एनीवन? किसी के साथ होता है? तो वैसा हो जाएगा एंड यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. एक बार बीच में आपका गैप आएगा तो आपको लगेगा कि आगे की चीज़ें मेरे को समझ में आनी नहीं है. देन यू आस्क फॉर द सेकेंड एक्सप्लेनेशन, बट द सेकेंड एक्सप्लेनेशन विल नॉट हेल्प अगेन एंड अगेन. देन यू माइट नीड थ्री एक्सप्लेनेशंस, फोर एक्सप्लेनेशंस. थैंक यू भैया फॉर पॉइंटिंग आउट माई मिस्टेक. अदरवाइज इंटरव्यू में काफ़ी रिस्की पार्ट हो सकता है. सॉरी सॉरी, बट वाई सॉरी? एंड यप, लेफ्ट एंड राइट का एरे वॉज माई मेथड ऑफ प्री प्रोसेसिंग. ग्रेट रोहित, big shout out to Rohit for this approach. Okay, I need some tips regarding resume. Resume will review some other day, not today. भैया डीएसए नहीं हो पा रहा, इंटर्नशिप इज़ वेरी हार्ड और बहुत स्ट्रगल कर रहा हूँ. Vaibhav, if I'm not wrong, you got an internship offer, right? You got an internship offer from some good places, but now you are facing two issues. One is you are finding DSA difficult, and then the second issue is you are finding the internship also difficult. दोनों चीज़ difficult लग रही है वैभव. It should not be difficult, yaar. They don't have a huge expectation from you because you are just an intern, and that too as a fresher, not even experienced, right? So they don't have that expectation from you during an internship. But I don't know why you are finding it difficult. No time for DSA. No time for DSA. Nice statement. But tell me, first of all, those who are here in the live, please tell me, what will you get after doing DSA? What are you going to achieve? Because there must be a reason why you are doing it, right? Is it fun to do? Or you will get something out of it later on? What will you get out of it? Why are we doing DSA? Why are we solving problems here? Dream. But what is the dream? ड्रीम है क्या? ड्रीम जॉब ability to solve in better ways, SD rules in top companies, our think improve our thinking process, problem solving ability, job to be honest. I want you to be honest only. Okay, be honest. To change our thinking and skills, to get more better offers, to give best optimal solutions. Hell, hell a dollar, and of course good job. So basically most of you wants to get a good job out of this, right? But after solving one problem by myself brings smile on my face. Great, that's the spirit. Yeah, so most of you wants a job out of it, correct? That might be your dream job or whatever job if you're looking for a switch. So do you think that dream is big enough to take out time and do DSA? Is that dream big enough? If it is not, then you can pursue something else. Okay. If it is not that big, then forget about it. Do something else. But if it is big enough, you will not find problem in taking out in separating out time for DSA. I'm working in a small company and they are giving assignments with tight deadlines to be done in Angular and Django. Then tell them, right, that you have a schedule, you have a work schedule, you will be working in these hours. Tell them that load is more if the load is actually more than your capacity. No company wants us to solve any simple problem in n square. Of course, nobody wants you to solve in brute force. Not at all. Yeah. So if you think that you can be disciplined enough, you will separate out 2 hours daily for data structures and algorithm practicing problems, then I guess your dream is big enough, right? तो भाई कम से कम 2 घंटे तो निकालने ही पड़ेंगे. इतना भी नहीं निकाल पा रहे हो ना, तो फिर दिक्कत है. ओके, तब इशू है. एंड देन यू मस्ट रीथिंक कि भाई फिर तो आप अपना टाइम वेस्ट करोगे मोस्टली. आप सी व्हाट यूजुअली हैपेंस इज कि आप ना इजी इजी 2-3 टॉपिक पढ़ लोगे. ओके, वो 2-3 टॉपिक इजी पढ़ने के बाद फिर फिर आपकी मोटिवेशन नहीं रहेगी। जब मोटिवेशन नहीं रहेगी तो आप एकदम से ब्रेक ले लोगे बीच में, ठीक है। ब्रेक लेने के बाद यू विल फॉरगेट जो भी आपने पढ़ा था एंड यू विल स्टार्ट अगेन, एंड दिस साइकिल विल कीप ऑन रिपीटिंग रिपीटिंग रिपीटिंग। ओके। द साइकिल विल कीप ऑन रिपीटिंग एंड ये होता है बहुत लोगों के साथ, आई नो। आप में से मैक्सिमम लोगों के साथ ये हुआ होगा। आप में से मैक्सिमम लोग ऐसे होंगे जिनके साथ ये चीज़ हुई होगी कि कुछ टॉपिक स्टार्ट करे, एरेज लिंक लिस्ट वगैरह स्टार्ट करे, कर लिया, ठीक है, उसके बाद ब्रेक ले लिया, फिर दोबारा से ये टॉपिक करे, एरे लिंक लिस्ट सर्च, फिर दोबारा से ये टॉपिक करे, एंड देन ट्रीज, ग्राफ, डायनेमिक प्रोग्रामिंग, हैशिंग, प्रायोरिटी क्यूज, ये कब पढ़ोगे? ये कभी आते नहीं है। somebody is asking कि भैया I want to connect personally, do you have a topmate account? No, I don't have a topmate account, but if you want to connect with me personally, I guess this is the best forum where you can connect with me personally. Here we have very few people, right? You can see the strength. You can ask whatever question you want, and most probably I'm going to answer that question. This is the best forum. Apart from that, I'm not on topmate, and I don't do calls. So yeah, you can go ahead and ask whatever you want. Why do you hesitate? ठीक है। Discipline is very important. Rather, I would say that you should know where to invest time and where not, because many of you, those who complain that ki you don't have enough time for DSA, be it your college, be it your current job, be it internship, be it anything, I know many of you spend at least 1 hour scrolling YouTube shorts and Instagram reels. Yes or no? Be honest. Sir, sometimes I think the approach, but to convert my thinking to code gets difficult at times. Yeah, and that's completely fine. It's a part of process and you will overcome this as you solve more and more problems. 9 to 9 जॉब तो घर आके भी करनी पड़ती है असाइनमेंट्स। तो मैंने बहुत मेहनत करी थी, 2300 रेटिंग है लीड कोड पे, 1000+ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हैं। वैभव, if you will not practice, right, you're gonna evaporate those 1000+ questions that you have solved. I solved 700 questions, right? 700 क्वेश्चन करने के बाद आई टुक 1 month's ब्रेक, एंड कितनी चीज़ें गायब हो गई उसमें से। This is very volatile sometimes. uh, it needs constant practice. DSA needs constant practice. You should be hands on with DSA because there is very less theory, and it's more about problem solving, and it's more about recognizing the patterns that you have developed while solving problems. So it is important that you keep practicing. So if you have solved 1,000 questions, which is a huge number, first of all, 1,000 questions is a huge number, right? I think even I did not solve these many questions when I was giving the full time interview, right? So yeah, it's good, but you have to be in touch with these questions at least that you have solved. Keep solving few questions every day. Yes. Bhaiya, I'm in sixth semester from tier 3, and wanted to know that how to prepare for product based companies. Yeah, see, Devansh, let me tell you one thing. There are few set of rules, few experiments that have been done, right? That have been already done. But coming from schools, we have this habit कि we want to start things from scratch, कि हमें सब कुछ ना स्क्रैच से ही स्टार्ट करना है, राइट? अब यहाँ पर बहुत सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट्स ऑलरेडी हो गए हैं, लोगों ने अपनी लर्निंग्स डाल दी हैं कि भाई दिस इज द प्रोसेस दैट वी फॉलोड, वी फेल्ड इन दिस प्रोसेस, सो इट्स नॉट अ गुड प्रोसेस. This is the process that we follow, and it's a good process to follow. It take less time, and we can retain more things by following this set of rules. Okay, but coming out of school, we don't know about this, and we want to start everything from scratch. As you asked me कि भैया मैं 6th सेमेस्टर में हूँ, टीयर 3 कॉलेज है, want to know how to prepare for product based company. Don't you think there's enough content on YouTube already for this? Not only on my channel, but there are 100 other channels with the same content, right? And you have watched those lectures for sure, you have watched those podcasts, those videos, but still you want to ask the same question. I don't know what different reply are you expecting here, but the reply is again going to be same. Everything has been already covered. Just go and watch that and just do it only once. Okay, just do it only once. ऐसा नहीं है कि बार बार से उसी को ही देखे जा रहे हो. How to overcome that forgetting older problem while preparing. First of all, you don't have to remember the code of any problem. That should not be done. It's a very bad habit and it's a very bad practice, and it just narrows down your thinking. भाई तुमने कोड याद कर लिया, ठीक है, कोड याद करके तो फिर तो तुमने अपने आप को बॉक्स कर लिया. यू आर लिमिटिंग योर थिंकिंग एबिलिटी, राइट? So do not remember codes, do not try to remember codes. First of all, try to understand the algorithm, try to remember the algorithm, understand it, and then don't worry about the code. You should be able to do it by yourself. Okay, this is one thing. Second thing, how to remember the question that you have already solved in the past. Okay, see, the best way is, first of all, let's say I have solved 1,000 questions. I'm not going to revise 1,000 questions ever. I won't have time to revise those 1,000 questions once again. Okay, that's simply not possible. But when I'm solving, when I'm learning new stuff, let us say today I learned binary search. So if I learn binary search, there must be something new that I've learned. I already know how to apply binary search in a sorted array. That's very simple for me. But I learned a new problem called aggressive cows. This problem could be solved using binary search. And here we are not searching for an element inside the array, but we are doing something different than that. Okay, it's a new problem, it's a new concept. I will put this in the list of my revision questions. I will revisit this when I'm revising binary search. I will revisit this question and I will be able to recall everything that I did at the time when I learned this. Okay, after solving aggressive cows, I solved 4 or 5 similar questions on similar lines. Okay, and again I kept one of them in the revision questions list. So out of 6 7 questions that I solved, I kept 2 in the revision list, so that the next time I'm revising this, I should be able to go through these 2 questions and done. I'm done revising binary search. This is the practice that you can do with every topic that you are learning. I hope I'm clear here. Okay. All right. So, Masuda, I will take your questions later. Zenith, I will take your questions later. Let me just conclude this question here. So, here what you are doing is, for every element you are finding, you're already saving the greatest left element. Okay, the greatest left element for every possible, for every element you are saving the greatest left element. Similarly, you will do for the right one. Okay, then at every point you will have L and R for all of these elements, and you will be able to get your answer. This is big O of N approach with extra space. The extra space being used here is again big O of N. Got it? It's again big O of N. So that's it. This is, but we can do something better than this as well. We'll discuss that. Let me pick up the questions that you guys have. Yes, there are few questions. Bhaiya, just don't ignore my message. I completed my 12th. After that, I have directly joined the pay after placement bootcamp. I have learned the whole web continuum. Next message. What? See, yaar, after 12th, are you not doing some like college? No internship, no company. I'm not getting anything. I'm getting depressed totally now. How I have so much thoughts in mind. That's why I wanted to connect personally just once. But what do you want to get right now? Kritika, sir, I am in final year. Have not done DSA. Started DSA this week. Can I crack a good company? 8 LP plus in 4 months. As after that, I might have to join company where I was placed. Okay, yeah. So if you organize your time well, I think preparation could be done in 3 to 4 months. But for that, you should at least know how to code in one of the programming languages, of course. You can't start from very basics and then be prepared in just 3 months, right? It is difficult because 1 month at least you will need for basics. If you do computer engineering, bachelor, a master in abroad like USA, is that good for future? See, the thing is, future cannot be predicted. We can only we can only assume things based on the past data. And the recent experience is not that great, right? So when there were layoffs, majority of the layoffs were happening in US, right? The market scenario was not that great, but things will recover again. There will be plenty of jobs out there in the market. So yeah, do your own research. I don't recommend because I did not do it myself. It's better if you get a job here. If you get a good job here, it's much better. At least from my point of view. Okay. Which programming language you choose? It's completely up to you. C++ or Java, whatever you want, doesn't make a difference at all. As I think when you see those green squares at the end of the day on the lead code profile, that's a biggest motivation I feel personally, and also gives more energy to solve more questions. Of course, that's what I used to do, right? So let me show you what I did when I was preparing. So right now my lead code profile is all empty. You can see here. But in 2018, I guess in 2018, I started practicing from here somewhere, right? 2019, what? There's no data for 2019. Yeah. So in 2019, I was pretty active. See, starting from the end of 2018, November, right? I started solving, and you can see the number of submissions in a single day: 26, 25, 56 submissions in a single day on 22nd of December 2018. 56 of submissions would have been great. 47 submission, 31 submissions. So this is what like the usual day was. And I guess these are not weekends. These are not all weekends. These are weekdays. When I used to go to college physically, okay, there was no COVID in 2018. Even in 2019, there was no COVID. It is COVID 19, but COVID 19 did not come in 19 actually. The lockdown came in 2020, right? See, this is this is the that uh, green boxes that we get, right? 67 submissions in a single day. I remember like one day I decided to complete the entire linked list in a single day. And I did that. In a single day, 62 submissions. I just sat and did all the linked list questions of lead code. Okay, great. I guess you have got your enough dose of motivation that you all need. But don't make it a habit. You should be able to get motivated by yourself. Don't always wait others to motivate you. भैया मेरा हमेशा रिज्यूम रह जाता है मेरा कर देना नेक्स्ट टाइम प्लीज आई विल डू दैट ओके is SD sheet enough if you solve it completely by yourself, and for that you will have to refer to some algorithm, some data structures. If you are thorough with that, then it's enough. Somebody is asking, can you please explain how to study, which is full benefit as much full benefit much as a time to study? What? Which is full benefit much as a time to study? Can you frame your questions again? Pursuing MS from USA or a job in Microsoft as a fresher? That's up to you. It's up to you. Both have their own advantages and disadvantages. It's up to you. See, I'm not gonna decide for your own decision. I can only tell you my own, like what I did. First of all, I never prepared for MS. I never applied for any exam. My only, see, I did not want to spend extra 50-60 lakhs to just go and study outside. So that's why I did not go for it. Never thought of it. Okay, great. Now there is coming back to the question that we were doing. So there is another interesting approach to solve this problem, but let's not discuss it in this class because it might be a little overwhelming for you to learn that approach. It's a two-pointer approach and it's a pretty good approach. So do you do you all want to learn that? First of all, tell me. It's a very interesting, very good approach, but for that I need your involvement here. I need your involvement. 50-60 lakhs होते तो जॉब क्यों करते? विवेक, ऐसा भी नहीं है यार. Don't think that 50-60 lakhs are enough for you to not do a job. 50-60 lakhs से क्या पूरी ज़िंदगी थोड़ी चलाओगे आप? Please share SD sheet. So if you will search Faraz, Faraz, SD sheet, you will get the sheet. Search it on YouTube or search it on Google. They both will give you the answer. Somebody is saying कि you can cover up in 1 year only. Abhishek, you can cover up in one. तो चले जा भाई, किसने रोका है? And if you have this confidence, why are you even asking me? I'm not qualified enough to answer you that question. I myself did not go for it. How can I advise you to go for it? देखो, सबसे ऑनेस्ट काम मैं यही कर सकता हूँ कि भाई जो मैंने किया है और जो मुझे लग रहा है कि डिसीजन सही है वो मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ. मैं उसका उल्टा तो नहीं बताऊँगा ना. देन आई एम नॉट ऑनेस्ट विथ यू इफ़ आई टेल यू दी ऑपोजिट कि भाई जाओ करो. बट भाई तेरे को जब लग रहा है कि तू कर सकता है 1 साल में सारा रिकवर, देन गो फॉर इट. सही बात है ना? बताओ. सक्षम इससे कि भैया मैं डीएसए स्टार्ट करता हूँ और एरेज पर ही स्टक रह जाता हूँ. क्यों रह जाते हो स्टक एरेज पर ही? स्पेंड सम टाइम ऑन एरेज, लेट्स से 2 weeks एंड आफ्टर दैट मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. ऐसा नहीं है कि इसी की प्रॉब्लम्स करते रहो घुमा घुमा करके. आई मीन टू से अगर 10 hours स्टडी करें तो 2 2 hour ही बेनिफिट होता है. सो एक्सप्लेन कि जितना टाइम स्टडी करें 100% बेनिफिट हो. ओके, ग्रेट. सो द थिंग इज कि sometimes we just keep sitting and like we pretend to be studying और हम इससे सिर्फ अपने आप को ही बेवकूफ़ बनाते हैं. So instead of doing that, what you can do is you can keep slots for yourself. This is 1 hour when I'm going to be completely focused. Keep your phone aside, okay? Because phones are actually a distraction nowadays. You just keep getting some notifications from Instagram, Snapchat streaks you want to maintain, right? All of those things. So keep it aside for that 1 hour. Try to optimally use that hour. If you're watching lecture, just full focus on the lecture. You should not be repeating. Okay, you should not be going, okay, let's play the last 30 seconds once again. I was not able to understand. Why you were not able to understand? Because you are not focused. Same with the live classes. Many of you say that, Bhaiya, please repeat. Repeat the entire thing. Why? While others are able to understand, majority of the people, 90% are able to understand, why the 10% could not? The reason is because their mind went away like a butterfly. Okay, they are free birds. They just thought of something else in between and they lose track of whatever is being happening, even in the live class, in the recorded lectures, while solving questions, while completing assignments, whatever it is. So just keep your mind in a little control of yourself for that 1 hour, and it's not that difficult to do it for 1 hour. I know it's difficult to do it for the entire day because our attention span is already decreasing, right? हमारा सबका attention span कम होता जा रहा है. We cannot maintain focus for long hours. You must remember when we were learning, when we were preparing for JEE mains, right? The syllabus was huge. The coaching classes we used to had was it was of 3 hours or 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours of coaching classes, and the JEE exams is also of 3 hours, right? If I'm not wrong, it's of 3 hours. I forgot. So we used to have that attention span, okay? But अभी क्या है, अभी आपका attention span बहुत कम है, कम हो गया है, और आपने खुद ने किया है वो कम. और सिर्फ आपका नहीं, सबका, इंक्लूडिंग मी, राइट? हम सभी का अटेंशन स्पैन कम हो गया. वी नीड टू रिपेयर दैट. ओके, सो इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू सिट विद फोकस विद 100% कंसंट्रेशन फॉर 1 hour, try to do it for 45 minutes or maybe half an hour, okay? And then increase it gradually from there. Abhishek, so in case when you are confused, right, you just take opinions not only from me, from others as well, so that you don't have biases in those opinions, and you don't be biased. First of all, if you're actually confused between two things, if you are biased with one of them, then you are sure, okay, then you are sure you already made your decision. Then there's no point discussing it with others, because you will keep pushing what you want to do. While you want someone to prove you wrong, you will just keep defending yourself. Got it? Don't do that. So if you have 50-50, right, if you have that balance, in that case, take opinions from a lot of people so that you don't have biases. Understood? So I gave my opinion, you can take opinions from others as well, and you did not offend me. मैं सेकेंड ईयर में हूँ. हाउ टू अप्रोच द क्वेश्चन एंड हाउ टू नो विच कॉन्सेप्ट इज यूज टू ब्रिंग टाइम लेस. Vishal, the best way is to practice questions, and the best way is to actually see. We solved a question, right? We solved a question. We started from brute force. We started from a brute force approach. Then we optimized it, and we were able to find a better solution, a big O of n, right? Now we are going to optimize it further to get a better solution. I don't know how many of you are actually interested in learning today. How many of you are actually interested in learning? Be honest. Please write yes or no in the chat. At least one of this, yes or no. Thanks, Abhishek. What was your goal in college days? My goal was to get a decent job when I'm exiting out of college. Not a big dream though. um, I had a dream when I joined college. When I joined college, I had a dream to be a software engineer at Google. This was the dream. But I got to know the reality that, okay, they hire only two people from the entire college of 2,200 students. Only two. And those students were, like, most of them were actually very good. My college was good. It was a, uh, you can say tier 1, tier 2, whatever college, but it was good, decent, DTU, right? So most of the students were actually good there. So that dream, that was a dream, but I got to know that I might not be able to make it. Then the dream was to get out with a job. Sir, every question is taking 3-4 hours. Okay, great. Let's see how we can solve this question in a more optimal way. So, what we are going to do is, so let us quickly go back to the original array quickly. See, this approach is also very simple. I will tell you what the approach is, and if you listen with concentration, you will be able to understand it. So now we want to find the L and R, the maximum on the left and the maximum on the right for every element. Let us start with the first element. So, can we maintain a variable L Can we maintain a initially, let us initialize this variable with 0, right? We can maintain this variable, right? Okay, let's not talk about this one. Let's do it in a different way. Let's keep two pointers. One is the start pointer, one is the end pointer. These are the two pointers I have. Okay, one pointer is pointing to the first wall of height 0, second pointer is pointing to the last wall of height 1. Now L is 0, R is also 0. L means the maximum on the left that we have seen so far, it is 0. Maximum on the right that we have seen so far is 0. Okay, as we move on S to this side, this L will keep on updating. As we move this E to the left side, this R will keep on updating. Now we have these two things. Tell me, what can I actually calculate? Can I calculate the amount of water on the top of this particular wall? Can I calculate it? See, I know I can calculate for this one. Why? For this one, the answer is 0. There is no wall on the right side of it. I can even calculate it for this one, because for this, I know that there is no wall on the left of it. L is 0 for this, right? But like, for which one should I actually calculate the answer? For this or for this? Tell me. So if you calculate the answer for this, you will do S plus plus and your S will come here. If you calculated the answer for this particular wall, you will do E minus minus and your E will come here. Okay, so what do you want to move? Do you want to move S or do you want to move E? Tell me, what do you want to move? S or E? And with a reason. You're saying S, move S. See, the answer is correct. We should move S. Okay, we should calculate the amount of water on the top of S and then move S. Why? Because this wall is shorter than this wall. Okay, so if I move this, okay, if I move this wall to this side, it's not, see, we could have done this. We could have moved E to the left side as well, right? Now there's a problem with this. There's a problem with this. What is the problem? Let me tell you. Because S, because it's 0, so we need some height. No, no, it is not the reason. It is not the reason. So you just need to compare this height with this height. Whichever is shorter, okay, whichever is shorter, you need to move that pointer. The reason is very simple. So let us say in future, if my S is somewhere over here, if my S is somewhere over here in future, and my E is somewhere over, let's say here it is E, right? You know that all the elements that I have left behind are actually shorter, are actually shorter than this particular element E. Okay, that's why I have left them behind. Okay, all the elements which I have left behind are shorter than this E. Correct? Otherwise I would not have left them behind. Why am I moving the pointer S? Is because S is pointing to a smaller wall. So I'm sure that whatever wall I have left behind are smaller than this E. Correct? So this particular E is greater than, this E is greater than all the walls that I have left behind. Okay? So this E is going to act as the right wall, although it is not the greatest on the right. So for S, the greatest on the right is this 3, not this 2. But it doesn't matter. Here's a wall with the length 3. Here's a wall with the length 2. Among these two, you know that this is R. But it doesn't matter. Why? Because all the walls that you have left behind are actually smaller than even this one. Okay? Are actually smaller than this one. So because these walls are smaller than E, these the walls that I have left behind are smaller than E, it doesn't matter if I take E as right or this as the right. I hope you got the point. I hope you got the intuition, and I know it is a little tricky. I can tell you, so like it's a little tricky to explain it to someone when it is asked to you, but the algorithm is very simple. Algorithm is simply just keep on maintaining the L max, the left max, keep on maintaining the right max, and move the pointer which is pointing to a smaller, which is pointing to a smaller smaller wall. Okay? I don't know how many of you got it, but even if you could not understand, it's fine. It is a little tricky, and I know I just don't want to keep like, that's the reason why I did not want to pull it up, because I knew that many of students will fly away. Sometimes, see, this is the reason why this question is labeled as hard question on lead code, right? This one approach is actually tricky, and it's fine if you are not able to understand it now. We can come back to it later. As of now, if you are able to understand the initial two approaches, that's completely fine. Okay, great. It's clear. Yep, clear. अच्छा, clear हो गया? That is great. कितने लोगों को clear हो गया? Got it. Okay. Awesome. Great यार. Clear हो गया जिनको, it's a good thing. Let us move on to the next question. Okay, let's move on to the next question. It's a pretty interesting question. Now this one is easy. Okay, this one is easy, and let's see what the problem statement is. Then I'm going to ask you a few questions. So the next greater element of some element x in an array is the first greater element that is to the right of x in the same array. So for okay, next greater element 1. Do we have something called next greater element only? No, we don't have. Okay, let's forget about this one. Let me construct the problem statement for you. So you are given an array, and this is an integer array. There are going to be several elements here. Let me put some elements. 2, 1, 0, 3, 4, and 0, 5. Okay, so for every element you have to find the next greater element. Next greater element. For every element you have to find the next greater element. Next greater element is something which is just greater than the element and which is just next to it. I mean, just okay, let me give you the example that will be easy. So let's start with this 2. Okay, this is the next element, but is it greater? It's not greater than 2. Let's go to the next one. This is the next element. Is it greater? No. Let's go to the next element. Is it greater? Yes. So 3 is the next greater element for 2. What is the next greater element for 1? What is the next greater element for 1? For 1 it is 3. For 0 also it is 3. For 3 it is 5. For 4 it is 5. For 0 it is 5. For 5 it is nothing. There is no next greater element for 5. So you have to find next greater element for every element. You have to find the next greater element for all of these elements. Pretty straightforward. Simple question, right? One very simple way is to actually go to every element one by one and find the next greater element, correct? So if you go to 3, you will be in search of next greater element and then you will go to all of these elements one by one and you will end up finding this 5, right? This is how you can find the next greater element for all the elements. Now just tell me what will be the time complexity for this approach. Big O of n square, absolutely correct, it's big O of n square. So because in search of next greater element it takes big O of n, and for how many elements do we have to search next greater element? For n number of elements, so the complexity will be n square. But can we do better than this? Of course. There are very few who can develop this intuition, so it is tricky, it is actually tricky to figure it out. But once if I tell you the proper solution for this, you will be able to retain that. Okay, so these kind of questions come in front of you and somebody is asking you to find the next greater element for all the elements in big O of n, and you're just thinking about it, and if you don't know the approach, there are very rare chances that you will come up with something, because this is something that we need to know. Sometimes we need to know the formulas, right, before actually solving some questions. Okay, we need to know laws of motion, basic laws of motions, right, before actually solving those kinematic problems that we used to solve, right? So there's a very good concept of monotone stack here. Okay, very good concept of monotone stack. Now, what is a monotone stack? It's a fancy name, but it is a stack. It's just a stack. So let's see what a monotone stack is. So let's create a stack. Oops. Nice. This is the stack. So I will keep inserting elements inside the stack. The first element is 2. Put 2 inside the stack. The next element is 1. Put 1 inside the stack. The next element is 0. Put 0 inside the stack. The next element is 3. As soon as 3 is coming, 3 is going to pop out the elements which are smaller than 3. So once again, let us start from the beginning. Let's put 2 in the stack, first element. Let's put second element in. This element 1, before going to the stack, will check if there is any element which is smaller than 1. Why will it check for that element? Because 1 is going to pop out the elements which are smaller than 1, so that 1 can become the next greater element for those elements. But there is no such element which 1 can pop out. So 1 will quietly go and sit on the top of 2. 0 will again have a look at the top of the stack and will have a look that is there something which I can pop out. So 0 can only pop out those things which are smaller than 0. So in this case, there's nothing smaller than 0. 0 is going to sit on the top of 1. The next element is 3. Before going to the stack, 3 is going to check if there's something which I can remove. And of course, 3 can remove 0. So for 0, the next greater element will become 3. 0 is popped out. Again, 3 will have a look. Is there something that I can remove? 3 can remove 1. So for 1, the next greater element is 3. Okay. Is there something else which I can remove? Yes. 2. So 3 will become the next greater element for 2 as well. And finally, 3 can sit peacefully on the top of the stack. Next element is 4. We did a mistake here. Okay, we did a mistake. Next greater element for 3 is 4, not 5. Okay, so the next element coming is 4. 4 will have a look at the top of the stack. Is there something which I can remove? Of course, 3. Remove 3. 4 will become the next greater element for 3. And 4 will sit on the top of the stack. Next element is 0. Can 0 remove anything? No, it cannot. 0 will sit here. Next element is 5. Can 5 remove anything? 5 is going to remove 0. So for 0, the next greater element will be 5. 5 is also going to remove 4. So for 4, the next greater element will be 5. And then 5 can sit peacefully in the stack at this position. For 5, there is no one else to pop out 5. So for 5, the answer doesn't exist. You found the next greater element for all of these elements. And what is the complexity that we used? What is the time complexity for this approach? Just think, how many elements did we insert inside the stack? How many elements did we insert inside the stack and how many elements did we pop out of the stack? In total, we had n number of elements. Every element got inserted into the stack at least once and got out of the stack at least at max once. So every element is inserted inside the stack at max once and got out of the stack at max once. Got it? You saw that one element can only enter the stack only once, right? And it can go out only once. So the complexity is big O of n, and I don't know from where are you writing n plus k Newton? Newton Mahata. n plus k कहाँ से आ गया? What is k? K is nothing. But we use some extra space. The space is the stack space that we use. It's going to be big O of n extra space, which is fine. Why is this called a monotone stack? Why is it called a monotone stack? Is it will be clear if you carefully observe the stack as and when I'm building it. The first element that's going to be inserted inside the stack is 2. The next element is going to be 1. 1 is not going to pop out anything because there's nothing which is smaller than 1. The next element is 0. 0 is again not going to pop out anything. You can see the structure of the stack. It is monotonically decreasing. From the bottom, it is monotonically decreasing. Hence the name monotone stack, monotonically decreasing stack. I hope you got it. I hope you got the reason. Tell me. Tell me if it is clear. Tell me if it is not. Stack size needs to be n, right? Why do you want a stack size? You don't fix the size of a stack before using stacks, right? You don't fix the size of a stack. Do we have monotonic increasing stack? Of course, if somebody is asking you to find the next smaller element, then what are you going to do? You can use monotonically increasing stack, right? Is this clear to all? You can find next smaller element using the same approach. You can find previous greater element using the same approach. You can find previous smaller element using the same approach. Next greater, next smaller, previous greater, previous smaller using the same approach could be done. Please like the video if you have not done. In the same approach. Newton Mahata is asking, sir, while loop not running k times. First of all, tell me where is the while loop? Okay, maybe you're talking about when we are popping out elements, right? न्यूटन भाई साहब आपने कहीं से गलत पढ़ ली हैं चीज़ें. आपने चीज़ें गलत पढ़ ली हैं किसी जगह से. So it is not big of n plus k or whatever. What is k? I don't even know. Any questions you have, you can ask me. और हमें क्लास खत्म होने से पहले 100 लाइक्स करने हैं वीडियो पे. अभी इस तो स्टक नहीं हो रहा ना वीडियो? इज इट फाइन नाउ? Great. We can move on to the next question. Insert, delete, get random in big O of 1. This is the question. The problem statement is in front of you. You can read the problem statement, try to understand it. So you have to implement a class. There are going to be few functions that you have to implement inside a class. Okay, there are three functions. Function one is insert. Okay, this one is just a constructor, so ignore this. First function is to insert a value in your data structure. Whatever data structure that you use, insert a value. Second, remove a value. Okay. Third, get random. Returns a random element from the current set of elements. It's guaranteed that at least one element exists when this method is called. Each element must have the same probability of being returned. Let us go to the first one. Insert a value. What data structure can you use to insert a value? Tell me, what data structure can you use to insert a value? You can use an array, you can use a map, you can use a linked list. You have plenty of options. If you want to remove something, then arrays. Okay, let's say if there's an element in between the array, then deletion is costly. Element is at the end, the deletion is easy. It is big O of 1. So just think of all the possibilities. Think of the data structures which you can use to solve for the initial two functions. One is to insert, the second one is to remove. Quickly, let us come up with a few examples. Quick. What would you use for insert and delete? A single data structure which can insert easily and remove things easily. Rajesh is saying hash set. Modanwal Preeti is saying array list. Nikita is saying hash map. Anything else? Stack. Okay. Anything else? What is the issue in using arrays? What's the problem in using arrays? Somebody saying linked list. Hash map. Okay. In hash map, if you know about hash maps, you can easily insert data into your hash map, and you can easily remove data from your hash map. Insertion and deletion in a hash map is big O of 1, right? Simply, you can simply insert it, you can simply delete it. Got it? Now, if you use a hash map in this place, These two functions would be very easy to implement. You can insert anything into your hash map. You can remove that from your hash map in a single in big of one time. But get random, this function is tricky. If you're using a hash map, this function gets tricky. Okay, how is it tricky? So in get random, you have to randomly return a number, and the probability of returning that number should be equal. Okay, for all the numbers it should be equal. For example, if we have this array, and in this array if there are, let's say, these elements are 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, 6, you should randomly, what does it mean by the probability of returning every number should be equal? So for 5 the probability should be 1 upon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 upon 6. This should be the probability of returning 5. 1 by 6 should be the probability of returning 3. 1 by 6 should be the probability of returning 6. That means out of these options you should return one number randomly. Have you ever heard of something called random, which generates random numbers, and you can put a limit on the range, right? So you can generate random numbers within a range, correct? You must have used random, get random. That random function is going to give you a random number which is going to be which is going to be the index of one of these. The index of one of these, right? The random function can give you numbers from the range 0 to 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whatever it returns, whatever that function returns randomly in the range 0 to 5, that is something which we can return as random, correct? But this cannot be done on a hash map or a hash set. This cannot be done on that. So for this we need arrays, but arrays will give us problem in removing elements. So let us say if I want to remove this element, right, it will be difficult for me to delete this element, because after this I will have to shift 1, 0, 6. So deletion becomes difficult if we are using arrays or vectors, and get random is difficult when we are using hash map. This is the point where most of the people get stuck. Now you have the problem right in front of you. The problem number is 380. I want you all to give it a try. Again, we all thought of two things. One is using arrays, the other one is using hash map. Hash map is giving us problem, it's giving us trouble in getting the random. The arrays are giving us problem in removing something. So can we do something better so that we can get best of both the worlds? You should think of something which can give us best of both the worlds. If you want me to give you a hint, I can give you hints as well to solve this question. This is going to be your homework question, which we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so let me give you a little hint. So you can actually use two data structures together to get the best of both the worlds. Okay, they both will Abhishek said vector. Vector alone is not will not be sufficient because vectors are again arrays, and this remove thing will give you problem if you want to delete something from arrays. Got it? Tell me if you have any doubts in today's class. Give me some feedbacks regarding today's class. And now, if you have any question that you want me to discuss, you can ask. We have 5 6 minutes remaining for the class to end. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, anything that you want to ask, be it related to today's lecture, be it something else, you can go ahead and ask your questions, and we'll be more than happy to answer you all. Okay? Class was awesome. Thanks, Romeo. By the way, if any one of you is interested in checking out the next Leap Bootcamp, the link is there in the description. You can check it out. The batch is starting from 4th of March, and we will be covering all the important topics. It's going to be a mix of live plus recorded. A lot of questions will be solved in these 3 months, and after 3 months, you will be sitting for placements. Okay, it's going to be an amazing experience for those who want to learn things from scratch and then wants to get placed. So yeah, you can check it out. The link is there in the description. You can use the coupon code for extra discounts. भैया started DSA around 22 days back. थोड़ा थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया है लेकिन 4 महीने में कैंपस प्लेसमेंट है. ओके, एक्सपेक्टिंग मोर लाइव क्लासेस. श्योर पवन. थैंक यू सर, यू मोस्ट वेलकम. थैंक्स, वेलकम. थैंक्स निकिता. Which language? DSA. So you can join in from any language, be it C++, Java, Python, JavaScript. Class is good. Thank you for the guide. Can I connect personal? I have a lot of questions. Can you guide? I'm sorry, Masuda, I will not be able to connect personal because I have a huge list of tasks to complete within a single day. So connecting personal would not be possible, but we'll keep conducting these kind of sessions where we are learning, problem solving. Along with that, you can ask your doubts. I hope that would help, right? Hey, I'm BSc CS student. I want to do MCA. Would you please tell me a better college name? I recently did a podcast with a person who did BCA and then MCA. You can maybe refer that podcast. You will get to know what you want. I did my BTech in electronics, so no personal CS project. Working in a company since 2 years on Spring project. Will that one project be enough for resume, or should I do personal projects to add? I think that should be enough. First of all, if you are working for 2 years, you must have a huge domain knowledge. I would not say that you basically master that, but yeah, you would have a decent knowledge in Spring, right? So you can mention it there. भैया डीएसए शीट लगा लें प्लेसमेंट के लिए तो फिर दिक्कत नहीं होगी ना along with our projects. So yes, if you honestly solve that, if you solve all the questions and if you do the necessary learning to solve those questions. I'm working as an iOS developer in a service based company which is 1.8 years of experience. Will I be able to get opportunities iOS development in product based companies? Yeah, why not? If you're able to make through, then why not? All right, everyone. Thanks a lot for attending today's session. It was a great interactive session with you all. We'll be conducting these kind of sessions regularly. So we'll do a little bit of problem solving. Along with that, you might have some other doubts. We'll be solving your doubts too. Okay. So good night. Bye bye. See you in the next session. Bye bye.